The lie you've been sold about success. Why the strongest leaders never do it alone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, hosted by LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Tonight, I want to share something that will challenge everything you've been taught about what it means to succeed. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Triona White, a visionary leader who is disrupting the entire narrative around entrepreneurship, community, and what it truly means to build something meaningful without losing yourself in the process. Triona White is not just building businesses, they are building bridges. They are creating spaces where Black professionals, business leaders, and entrepreneurs can thrive, heal, and reclaim their power. Their work is a testament to the idea that we don't have to do this alone and that our greatest strength lies not in our ability to hustle harder, but in our willingness to connect deeper. Triona is making the world a better place by reminding us that entrepreneurial success is not about individual achievement, it's about collective growth. It's about building bridges, not walls. It's about creating space where we can all thrive. And what Triona shared with me during our conversation challenged everything I thought I knew about entrepreneurial success. We've been sold a dangerous story, a story that says if you want to make it, you have to grind alone. You have to be the first one in and the last one out. You have to sacrifice sleep, relationships, joy, and sometimes even your sanity, all in the name of building something great. We've been told that entrepreneurship is a solo sport, that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and that the strongest among us are the ones who never need anyone. But here's the truth Triona White shared with me, and it's a truth that will shake the foundation of everything you've been taught. Entrepreneurial success is not about relentless drive or individual achievement. It's deeply rooted in community, collaboration, and shared learning. The most impactful leaders and innovators are not the ones who do it alone. They are the ones who actively engage with networks, seek mentorship, and contribute to collective growth. Let me say that again. The myth of the lone entrepreneur is just that, a myth, and it's a dangerous one. Because when we believe we have to do it all by ourselves, we isolate ourselves from the very resources, relationships, and support systems that could propel us forward. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, but LeAnne, I've been taught to be strong. I've been taught to carry it all. I've been the one everyone leans on. How do I suddenly start leaning on others? And that's exactly the shift we're talking about tonight. This is about releasing the cape. This is about redefining what strength looks like. Because strength is not about carrying everything alone. Strength is about knowing when to reach out, when to ask for help, and when to say, I don't have to do this by myself. Triona White introduced me to entrepreneurs whose stories will change the way you think about building a business and, more importantly, building a life. These are not fairy tales. These are real people who faced real obstacles and made a conscious choice to reject the lie that they had to do it alone. Let me tell you about Sharon Cunningham and Orlaith Ryan. In 2024, they were named EY Entrepreneurs of the Year in Ireland. These two women are the founders of Shorla Oncology, and they are developing innovative oncology treatments that are saving lives and transforming the pharmaceutical industry. But their journey was not easy. They faced significant obstacles in securing funding. They navigated complex regulatory pathways that were designed to keep people like them out. They had to establish credibility in a competitive sector that didn't always make space for them. But here's what made the difference. Sharon and Orlaith didn't try to do it alone. They leveraged mentorship from the EY Entrepreneur of the Year community. They built strategic partnerships. They prioritized innovation, yes, but they also prioritized connection. They understood that their backgrounds in pharma and business were powerful, but their willingness to draw on support from industry networks was what made them unstoppable. And because of that, Shorelaw Oncology launched multiple successful treatments and gained international recognition. Their work has improved patient outcomes and inspired other women in STEM and entrepreneurship. Sharon and Orlith didn't succeed because they were the smartest people in the room. They succeeded because they were willing to be in the room with others who could support them, challenge them, and help them grow. They succeeded because they understood that collaboration is not a weakness, it's a superpower. Now, let me introduce you to Alex Linehan. Alex is a Quercus Innovations and Entrepreneurship Scholar who founded a company to help students, especially those from disadvantaged backgrounds, progress to higher education through mindset training. Alex grew up in a DES school, a school serving students facing significant socioeconomic challenges. And Alex knew firsthand what it felt like to be counted out, to be told that success wasn't for people like them. But Alex didn't let that stop them. They faced barriers related to limited resources, lack of initial traction, and skepticism from stakeholders who didn't believe in their vision. They had unsuccessful ventures. They made mistakes. They stumbled. They fell. But instead of giving up, Alex used feedback from those setbacks to improve their approach. They focused on public speaking. They partnered with educational institutions. They kept moving forward, even when it felt impossible. And today, Alex's business, Next to Puni, has achieved recognition, won awards, and positively impacted student outcomes. Alex's work has empowered students facing adversity and encouraged a culture of experimentation and resilience. Alex didn't succeed because they never failed. Alex succeeded because they learned to see failure as a teacher, not a tombstone. Alex succeeded because they refused to believe the lie that they had to figure it all out on their own. And then there's the EY Entrepreneur of the Year program itself. This program connects over 100 leading entrepreneurs annually, fostering an alumni network that supports innovation and growth across multiple sectors. But here's what's beautiful about this program. Many of the members initially struggled with isolation, self doubt, and the pressure of constant performance. They were high achievers who felt like they had to have it all together all the time. They were carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and they were doing it alone. But the program offered something rare: retreats, mentorship, peer support, a sense of community among business leaders who understood what it felt like to carry the weight of building something from nothing. And the outcomes were transformative. Members reported increased confidence, new business opportunities, and lifelong friendships. The alumni network became a model for how structured support and community can drive sustained entrepreneurial success. These entrepreneurs didn't just build businesses, they built legacies. And they did it by refusing to believe the lie that they had to do it alone. So, what does this mean for you? What does this mean for the high achieving Black woman listening right now? The one who has spent years in survival mode, the one who has led teams, raised families, held down households, carried communities, and is now exhausted. It means this: building a strong network and engaging with supportive communities is essential for entrepreneurial growth and resilience. Success is not a solitary path. It flourishes when you connect with others who understand your journey and can offer guidance, resources, and encouragement. It means embracing experimentation and learning from setbacks is a critical part of the entrepreneurial process. Every failure is an opportunity to refine your approach and strengthen your resolve. The most celebrated entrepreneurs are the ones who treat mistakes as stepping stones, not stop signs. And it means social responsibility and giving back amplify your impact as a leader. The most impactful entrepreneurs are those who balance financial performance with a commitment to their communities and industries, creating legacies that extend beyond business metrics. Now, I want to pause here and talk about what this looks like in the context of your soft girl era, because this is not just about business. This is about how you're learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival. For so long, you've been told that softness is weakness, that asking for help means you're not strong enough, that resting means you're lazy, that saying no means you're selfish. But what if I told you that softness is not weakness? What if I told you that softness is a radical act of self love? What if I told you that the most powerful thing you can do right now is to release the cape, to stop trying to be the superwoman who does it all, and to start being the woman who knows her worth, protects her peace, and builds her life on a foundation of community, collaboration, and shared learning? This is your soft girl era. This is the sacred pause you've been waiting for. This is not a trend. This is a lifestyle rebellion, a deep exhale from the superwoman script, a quiet but powerful return to softness, rest, self trust, and radical joy. And here's what I want you to understand: when you build your business, your career, your life on a foundation of community, you're not just building something for yourself, you're building something for the next generation. You're creating a legacy that says, we don't have to do this alone. We can support each other. We can lift each other up. We can create spaces where Black women thrive, not just survive. Triona White reminded me of something so important. Never give up on yourself. Keep moving forward towards your goals, even when faced with challenges, even when it feels like the world is against you, even when you're tired, even when you're scared. Keep moving forward, but don't move forward alone. So here's what I need you to hear tonight: you are not meant to do this alone. You are not meant to carry it all. You are not meant to sacrifice your joy, your peace, your softness in the name of success. You are meant to thrive. You are meant to build a life that honors who you are, not just what you can produce. You are meant to create a legacy that extends beyond business metrics and touches the lives of everyone you encounter. And it starts with community, it starts with connection. It starts with the courage to say, I don't have to do this alone. So tonight, as you absorb this message, I want you to remember Sharon and Orlith, who built a life saving company by leaning on their community. I want you to remember Alex, who turned setbacks into stepping stones and is now changing lives. I want you to remember the EY Entrepreneur of the Year alumni who found strength in each other. And I want you to remember Triona White, who is making the world a better place by reminding us that entrepreneurial success is not about individual achievement, it's about collective growth. It's about building bridges, not walls. It's about creating spaces where we can all thrive. Here's my challenge to you: how can you actively seek out and contribute to communities that will support your growth, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a leader committed to making a difference? I want you to identify one way you can connect, collaborate, or give back this week. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor, maybe it's joining a professional network, maybe it's offering your expertise to someone who's just starting out. Maybe it's simply saying yes to a conversation that could change your life. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more isolated entrepreneurs burning themselves out in the name of hustle culture. The world needs leaders who understand that their strength is magnified when they connect with others. The world needs you to step into your soft girl era, to release the cape, to redefine strength, to embrace softness, to heal in real time, to protect your peace as a practice, and to turn your survival into something sacred. This is not just about building a business. This is about building a movement. This is about creating a new narrative that says success is sweeter when it's shared, that strength is deeper when it's supported, And that legacy is richer when it's rooted in community. So I'm asking you tonight, okay, and will you reject the lie that you have to do it alone? Will you have the courage to reach out, to connect, to collaborate, to ask for help? Will you choose to build your life on a foundation of community, knowing that this is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of wisdom? Never give up on yourself. Keep moving forward towards your goals, even when faced with challenges. But remember, you don't have to do this alone, and you were never meant to.